Hello, I am Dr. Sha-Rhonda Green. I'm a mental health therapist and social worker. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have been practicing since 2004. I would like to share with you today about how to change your narrative, how to rewrite your story, when you are changing your story, and how to rewrite your ending. There may be times in your life that you have felt stuck, you have felt just immobile, and you felt so overwhelmed by what your life has presented to you that you don't feel like you can move forward. You don't think that you can have a different outcome. But one of the quotes that I listened to today, I read today that really resonated with me was, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending, by C.S. Lewis. So, have you ever felt like regretful about a choice that you've made? This quote helped me to remember the power of change, how you get to change your trajectory, and how you get to create a better future for yourself. So, there have been there have been times in any human being's life, particularly my life, and I'm trying to think of a particular example where I maybe got stuck in my story in a way, but I come from the South. I was born and raised in the South. I'm the oldest of six, and grew up in poverty. And one of the things that helped me to navigate my life was trying to believe the best about myself, and also trying to remember that things would get better, and that I was trying to hold out to see how they were going to get better. Like, I got invested in, like, how am I going to come out of this? I believe I got invested in my own story, my own hero story in a lot of ways, to see, like, okay, so I'm just going to try this. And also listening to how my life was talking to me, like reflecting on how my life began in some very challenging ways, and then also how I learned from how my path was set up. So school for me, like, education was my way out of poverty. Like, I've gone to school, I have a bachelor's, I have two masters, and I have a PhD. And so me having the opportunity for education was a way for me to have a path out. I'm a first generation college student for undergrad and for grad school. And there were people and circumstances around me that did not believe the best about me. There were things that were said to me, like, negatively, but there was also things that were said to me positively. And from my background, from my origin story, so to speak, is that I started believing myself, and I was great at school. So I continued to do the things that I was great at. I want to encourage you, the things that you feel great at, the things that have allowed you to survive your life. I encourage you to continue to do those things, and you get to decide how you want your story to end. Like, you get to pick up the pencil, the pen, the crayon, whatever, the marker, the paint that you have in your life, the things around you, the things that are easily accessible to you, to write your story. You get to decide that. And when individuals have experienced trauma, when you've experienced trauma, there's a lot of stories that you have been told. There's things around you that have told you that you can't be that, you can't do that, because people want you to stay in a certain position so they can continue to have access to your gifts, your talents, your resources, your amazingness, your awesomeness. And in this season of your life, you get to pick up that pen, and you get to decide who you want to be. You get to rewrite, you get to change how you want your life to end. Your future self is calling to you. Your future self is calling to you. You did not have control over the home or the life that you were born into, but you definitely have control, and you definitely have creative liberty to decide who you want to be and how you want to be that. And sometimes a lot of times that begins with writing it out. And when you are able to write it out, and when you're able to see your words and your life on paper, and when you start talking to yourself and speaking to yourself about who you want to become, how you want your story to evolve, you own the narrative. How you speak to yourself is what you believe about yourself, and also how you feel about yourself. So, if any of this, like, resonates with you, do you have, like, any personal stories or examples of when you were confronted with rewriting your story, with thinking about your life in a different way, so that you could, one, survive it, and also to thrive, to imagine yourself in a different way, so that you could have the life that you have always dreamed of? I am Dr. Sha-Rhonda Green. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I have been practicing for 20 years, for 2 decades, and I have been practicing since 2004. I am excited to be on my journey, and tell me what you think in the comments. And I look forward to speaking to you again. I hope you have an amazing day and take amazing care of yourself.